Yo, what's good everybody? Welcome back. It's Brandon again with Campbell Fitness. It is Sunday, Subscriber Sunday. We missed last Sunday because Hurricane Nemo. Was it a hurricane? No, I think it was actually Blizzard Nemo, which is stupid. Whatever. We had a storm here and I didn't really have power at my house. We're on generator power, so I didn't really have access to my computer because I was trying to be smart and not really run all this stuff that I didn't need to run. So I unplugged my computer, my Xbox, my TV. It was hard, but I managed to do it. Anyways, today's video is going to be on a video question. So I've been meaning to do this for about 2 or 3 weeks. I got a couple of them all back to back to back, and I only really wanted to do one per video. So let's go ahead and take a look at the question that we have.
Hey Brandon, what's up, man? I got a question about doing deadlifts on leg day. After I do, I'll start with squats, 3 to 5 sets of squats, and 3 to 5 sets of leg press. But by the time I get to deadlifts, I notice it just seems like I'm out of breath. My hamstrings are kind of shaky, and I understand that leg press and squats, they're not really a hamstring exercise. I mean, you work your hamstrings, it's more it's quad dominant, more quad dominant. But it doesn't seem to matter, because when I get to deadlifts, my performance just seems really bad. Like today, I didn't seem to do well at all. I mean, mentally and physically, I just seemed like I wasn't as strong. My form just seemed to not be as good either. And I wanted to know, like, is this like a bad idea to do that? Should I change? Should I do deadlifts on a different day? Because my back workout's kind of strange. It's a little unconventional. I'll do rows one day, and then I'll do pull-ups another day, and then deadlifts, like, I kind of separate them on my chest day and leg day. So I do it differently than I think a lot of people do. But should I change, like I said, the time I do deadlifts? Because maybe I could improve my performance, because I'm pretty much a beginner at deadlifts for the most part in comparison to bench press and pull-ups and things of that nature.
Okay, great. So David, thanks a lot for the question, man. And it's a really cool question because it's something that I actually ran into as far as problems initially going into, and that is doing deadlifts after squats, especially on these power days that I have set up, where I'm doing, some pretty maximal loads for myself for squats and then doing the exact same thing for deadlifts. Now, in the past, I had a video up about when to place deadlifts in your workout routine. Should they be a back exercise, or should they be a lower body or leg exercise? And at the time I said back exercise, and I still really look at it as predominantly posterior chain, lower back exercise. However, with this routine that I'm on now, I wanted to change some things up, and I think sometimes that's good to see how you respond and kind of get out of your comfort zone a little bit, really mix things up, and that's what I wanted to do. So I took a look at this routine initially, and I took this lower power day, at least the squats and deadlifts portion of it, from, again, Alberto Nunez over at 3DMJ. So if you guys haven't seen his videos, very highly suggested. It's someone that I really have a lot of respect for, and I respect his opinion, so I wanted to give this portion of his workout a try. However, I don't know if I want to say the bro in me, but the person in me that typically, has built this foundation of knowledge and both practical application in the gym, really kind of looked at this and, I shook my head and said, this is going to kick my ass. This is going to be really tough. And you know what? It was at first, and it still is today. So if you watch some of my workout videos where I do squats and then I move on to deadlifts, I say, I'm fried. But I think it's almost in a good way, as it's really kind of pushing my limits, and it's forcing me to do something that normally I probably wouldn't have done, or something I was uncomfortable doing. And my numbers have been going up in both, which is great. So I'm been getting stronger. Not to mention that when I actually do separate deadlifts off again into either, my upper or back days, if I were to have a pull workout, let's say, they would be even higher, my numbers, only because, again, I'm kicking my ass with squats first. You work a lot of the same, posterior chain with that. So moving on to deadlifts, even though I'm still moving good weight for me and it's tough, when I do eventually separate that out, or if I were to max out, my numbers would be even higher. So it's something I'm looking forward to. Now, as far as your personal question and if you should do it or not, or if you're tired, the first thing I would say to you is, take a look at your priorities. And typically for me, I like to put those heavy compound movements first, and I really wouldn't consider leg press one of my top lifts. I would say, bench, squat, deadlift, overhead press. Those are the top 4 in my opinion. You could throw barbell rows in there too as well. It's going to vary really depending on you. But in that case where you're finding you're having difficulties doing deadlifts, I would say move them up in that routine. So if you're gonna do squats first, that's fine. I would then put deadlifts second instead of other leg exercises like leg press or whatever else you're doing. And it might even be the case where you don't wanna do them on the same day. I know a lot of people have that issue, especially if you're doing a lot of volume otherwise in your routine. I had a lot of success initially of doing like a push-pull like I'm doing now, but I would have my deadlifts and squats as far apart as possible. So like I might do, let's say, deadlifts on Monday, and I would wait till Friday to do my squats. That way I have adequate rest in between. I wasn't really frying my system. However, on these days where I'm doing, again, squats and deadlifts on the same day, I keep the volume pretty low. So I mean 3 to 5 sets max with 3 to 5 reps. And in addition to that, you know, I would do squats, deadlifts, and then I have like 2 or 3 other exercises, tops that I would do, and it's usually something simple like leg curls, calves, maybe another quad dominant exercise like leg extension, something easy. So as far as this goes, it might not be optimal for you to do so. Give it some play, and if you ever have issues with anything in your lifting routine, the first 2 things that I take a look at are either frequency or total volume, so you can play around with that. But again, my suggestion would be probably prioritize it in your routine if you're having issues doing deadlifts. And if it's a problem where you're really struggling with it and you feel like you're regressing, then don't do it on the same day. So I hope that answers your question. Hope everyone's having a great weekend, has a great President's Day weekend if you're here in the States, which usually means you don't have school, you don't have work. So that's pretty awesome in my opinion. But in the meantime, everybody, stay big.